welcome to this Spirit Gathering teleconference. Today is May the 19th, 2020, and my name is Ken Ficklin. Our topic is an attitude of gratitude for this call, and we are so glad that you've joined us. We are recording this call so that people who could not be here tonight can listen in. Please press either your phone's mute button or *6 to mute your line to help keep the line quiet. In tonight's circle format, we're going to be using the Conversation Council, which is basically you speak at any time, only taking care to let the current speaker finish before you begin. And as you introduced Carolyn will be serving as our spiritual guide through this, and she will lead us through a short meditation. And I'm providing as timekeeper, and I'm going to mention at 5:45, 5 o'clock, and at 5:15 so that we can be aware of the time we have remaining on this call. And we're going to take a moment now to have our invocation and center ourselves for the rest of this call. So let's, if you're comfortable, close your eyes and relax. And let's take this moment to be settled, to center ourselves and to go into, let go of the events of the day and begin to enter into a deeper sacred space within ourselves. We know that we have this image of joining together in a sacred spirit space, heart to sacred heart, with every person on this call and with everyone joining later in this call. For we can now imagine that we are joining in a circle with a light in the middle of the circle. Imagine a spoke of light coming out from the center to your heart and for each person on the call. We are connected, sacred heart to sacred heart. Our intention for tonight's call is to set our guidance, our intention, and we are blessed. As we listen to one another with compassion and curiosity, we ask for what we need and offer what we can. We deepen our connection with one another and the divine. May this sharing serve us, our communities, and the planet. And so it is. Well, why don't we begin with a short check-in? We kind of started a little bit, and we'll just tell a little bit about ourselves and where we're coming from before we start our discussion. Carolyn, you told us a little bit about what you do. Why don't you go ahead and start for us?
Well, thank you. My name is Carolyn. I'm a senior minister at Unity Church in Reading, and Ken and I have worked together for several years now, 7, 8 years, something like that. Our family-sized church is really a joy to me, and the challenges of keeping our congregation together during this sheltering-in time have actually been enlivening. I'm not much of a technology person, and so I've learned a lot, but I've also learned that there are truly ways that we can feel and stay connected even though we're not face-to-face. And, of course, my favorite is always face-to-face with lots of hugging and laughing and sharing of stories together with each other. But I'm really delighted that technology has reached the point that we can have our meetings in this way or by Zoom or Skype or FaceTime because it's next best. I certainly look forward to the sheltering in being over so that we can begin church again in person. And also, it's going to be a challenge for me when we open up again, because I have truly enjoyed this time of sequestering, where I've done a lot of self-exploration, and I've enjoyed the flexibility, the solitude. It's been very lovely for me, and I really choose to find ways that I can bring more of this into my everyday life when things open up again. And I feel very honored that Ken asked me to join you all tonight. So thank you.
So shall we flip a coin, Sandy?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. I'll go next. My name is Sandy Sheridan. I live in Piermont, New York. I work in New York City sometimes, not at the moment. I work with an organization called Sunray Meditation Society. So I do teach meditation, and I work with indigenous peoples. I think what I want to say in relationship to being here tonight is I so appreciate people of like mind and good heart being together and sharing experiences and just being. And I really am working on looking at thought and action, and how one's thoughts and actions are brought out into the world and in interaction with people, and really trying through meditation practices and just talking with people, for people to be able to recognize, what they're doing and what their patterns are. And that's through the meditation and just talking with some of my patients. I do, as I said before, I am a physical therapist, and I do craniosacral therapy and others, and just in interactions with them that way also. I'm hoping to just bring awareness to people and their actions and reactions. And I think that's it for now.
Thank you.
We are so blessed as we go into this call and hold the idea of being in oneness and being in the Spirit as we move forward. So, Carolyn, could I ask you to lead us in meditation so that we could begin our discussions for this evening?
I would like to do that. Did you check in?
I did with my mute button on.
I was going to say it was very silent, and I didn't know if in Tzaddi, after someone spoke, you just did a meditation or what.
I had quite a good meditation there, not hearing you.
So did I. I wasn't quite sure, Sandy.
Right.
Yeah, I gave a little history of myself and went into some real good and unique comments, and then noticed my mute button was still on.
Boy, sorry we missed that.
Oh, well.
Okay, so let us take a deep breath together and sigh it out. And again. Always remembering that our breath brings us into the present moment. And in this moment, we are grateful. We are grateful for all that life brings us, knowing that when we live from our spirit within, that we can fully give ourselves to life, whatever it brings, from a sense of wholeness, from a sense of love, with a sense of gratitude, knowing that we have within us all that we need to live a full life on this human plane. And that when we turn in and are guided by Spirit from that wisdom, from that love, from that joy, from that peace that resides in us at every moment, our gratitude increases. What a beautiful opportunity we have to experience the fullness, the wholeness of life and how we interact with it. And when we come from that perspective, how can we possibly feel anything except grateful? So as we turn within now for a moment of silence, let us recognize the gratitude that we feel in this moment. And then let us feel it, visualize it, moving out beyond this moment and into the world, encompassing all that we're cognizant of, sending gratitude with love and with an open heart. now as we gently bring ourselves back to this moment, we feel gratitude for the silence and for all that is transpiring as we return together, our hearts connected, our minds open and receptive to all the sharing that is done, with the opportunity to learn each other at a fuller and deeper level. And so it is.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to read a statement about the attitude of gratitude. And I'd like you to sit with it just a second and how it affects you. Either, yes, it works in your life, no, it doesn't work in your life, and what or how it manifests in your life. And the first one says, gratefulness for what is there is one of the most powerful tools for creating what is not there. What does gratefulness mean? It means you appreciate what is, you value, you give attention to, you honor what is here at this moment. And that was from Eckhart Tolle. So just a few minutes on, does it speak to you, does it not speak to you, and how does it manifest in your life? I'll begin. One of the things that I do in my prayer practice is the idea of knowing that whatever I'm praying for is to change my mind, and that Spirit is already working in and through me for whatever it is that I'm bringing up. And it's a matter of finding in myself, knowing that Spirit has already acted. And this says the same thing to me, is that if I start focusing on what is not there, I look at what is there, and that's my focus. That's my gratitude for whatever is in my life and whatever I appreciate, and knowing that that is the true value that gives my life meaning.
I find gratitude makes me slow down and experience what is in the moment, to feel the gratitude for the wind or the waters or hearing the birds. It makes me slow down and really be where I am at the moment, and fills me with light and love. And that's what I felt from the reading.
And I guess just so that we're all working on the same brainwave, is if you want to pass, you can just say pass. You're not required to.
Okay, pass. Oh, if you don't want to speak, you mean?
If you don't want to speak and say anything about it.
Okay.
So, Ken, would you also want me to be a participant or just hold the space?
No, with just three of us on the line, I'd say participate.
Okay. one of the places where I feel like I have really grown a lot, particularly over the last year or so, is feeling grateful for everything that happens in my life, for every activity, for every interaction. I find it very easy to be grateful when things are going well and when I think life is beautiful and when there are challenges. What I've discovered is that if I can feel grateful for that, it opens my mind to seeing what it is about that situation that initially I wasn't grateful for. Like, what is it tapping in me that's an area of pain or an area of challenge? And I think that over this past year or two, that where I've really grown is being able to, even if it's only in retrospect, to feel grateful, truly, as Toli said, for all that is right here and right now. And it ends up being very enlightening, meaning that it makes me lighter, that I don't feel as heavy when I can see what has kept me in my own self from feeling gratitude for what is.
Thank you. Did anyone join us during the meditation? Okay, here's the second quote. It's a basic law. The more you practice the art of thankfulness, the more you have to be thankful for. This, of course, is a fact. Thankfulness does tend to reproduce in kind. The attitude of gratitude revitalizes the entire mental process by activating all other attitudes, thus stimulating creativity. Norman Vincent Peale. Thinking in my life and the teachings of unity that thoughts held in mind create after their own kind, and that's what stood out for me, is the more I'm in an attitude of gratitude, the more I will be in an attitude of gratitude, appreciating what is taking place in my life.
Yes, and I feel similarly in that the more I'm grateful for those things in my life, even the small things, the more you see you are grateful for. I still am working on being grateful for or thankfulness for the times of conflict or situations that make me feel uncomfortable.
I recognize that when I'm in a state of gratitude that I feel joy. My granddaughter, who's 13, and I have been doing FaceTime with each other, and she loves to cook, and so she cooks in her home while I'm cooking in my home. And I just feel so grateful that even though we're not together, we can spend time together cooking. And that sense of gratitude, I mean, I could feel sad that we're not together or upset that this whole thing has happened, but instead I just feel happy and grateful and filled with joy that we can spend time together apart. And that's what I just discovered, that whenever I'm feeling grateful for whatever it is, I feel joyful.
Thank you all for sharing. The third quote is, be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. And that's from Oprah Winfrey. I like the way she... Go ahead.
That's okay. Go ahead.
You started.
Oh, okay. My dad was a person who was very grateful. He had some pretty serious disabilities for much of his life, and yet he always loved life. And I remember one time someone said to me, you know, your dad just says thank you too much. It sounds like he says thank you so much that he must not mean it. But he did. And I find that I'm a person who says thank you a lot. And it's because I am so grateful for the little things that people do and for the life that I have. And I truly do believe that when I feel grateful, there is no way that I feel a sense of lack. It's only when I see things where I wish it were different, or I've gotten my feelings hurt and I don't understand it and I don't feel grateful for the situation, that I feel this sense of lack and this sense of loss. And so I believe that for my life, it's like Oprah says, that when we feel grateful, there's always enough, and if we can't feel grateful, there will never be enough.
Well stated. I pass.
This one ties back into the one before it, in the idea of thoughts held in mind create after their own kind, and that I have seen in myself when I focus on something that I'm trying to accomplish, it's always being tried and it's never being completed. That if I can't get out of my own way, you know, letting go and letting God work through me, then I'm always trying to hold control over those minutes that are expressing as my life. And in this one, I think it's just really important for myself that I need to concentrate on everything that I have and be thankful, as you brought up before, and to let go of that which is not in my life, because if it was meant to be in my life, I'd have it. So it's an idea of letting go and letting God activate through my life.
Is it part of the format that a person can ask a question?
It depends on what the question is and if the person wants to respond to it.
Okay, it's a question about what you just said.
And what is your question?
Okay, my question is, you said something about when you're always trying or something like that. I heard the word trying in there. And what do you perceive about gratitude when you're making the effort toward gratitude but haven't quite achieved it yet? Does that feel like a step along the path, or to you does that feel like loss?
Well, I think that for me, anytime I'm thankful for a situation in my life and seeing how it furthers my development of consciousness, then it's a positive. More of what I was referring to is trying to manifest in my life things of this world. That often I'm, going to clean my room, I'm going to lose weight. I'm always trying to do those things, but I'm never taking action on them. So it's like if I continue to give lip service to them, they're always going to be falling short because it's not what I value. Because if I valued them, I would do something about them. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Well, the fourth one is one that touched me because it means a lot, but I don't know how we do it. So I'm looking for how we in our lives accomplish this last one. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. And that's by William Arthur Ward. How do we express in our lives this present that we have, that we wrap up in our feelings of gratitude?
Well, what comes to mind first is saying thank you and acknowledging someone and thanking someone for themselves, for what they do and what they say, and expressing gratitude that way, just by the interaction and the connection and thanking someone for that being. That way there's a energetic connection made. So the present is unwrapped energetically.
What I feel about that is that if I do something, for example, that I really want to do for someone else, I'm not doing it for that person to thank me. But when that person does thank me, it's really a gift for me. There's the gift in the giving, but also the gift in receiving, and that goes to the kind of thank you, I think, Sandy, that you were talking about. And I think that the universe probably responds in the same way. I mean, when we're grateful to God for all that's been given to us, this is putting a human quality on God, which we don't believe, but nonetheless, I do believe that the universe responds joyfully by granting more of that for which I'm grateful. So that's the gift. I mean, I see gratitude and offering thanks or gratitude to others as a two-way gift. The gift is given and then the gift is received.
I like the way you both brought up the action of doing something, and both of you used giving thank yous. Mm-hmm. I know often in my own life I've used a gratitude journal, or I've written down things that I'm grateful for, and I know that the more I write, the more things come to mind to be written. But often, if I don't make a connection to express it in my life, as you've said, the thank yous, the acknowledgments, and making sure that I have a flow of giving and receiving going on, then it seems to be there's less energy connected to the gratitude if I don't keep the flow going within myself. And that's something that is, just comes to mind when you think about it, is the feeling of gratitude and how you feel about it lifts me up. And by lifting me up, it lifts up all my expressions of how I interact with people, if I'm opening to new ideas and other people's thoughts, other people's actions, and thinking of a young person opening a gift and seeing that smile on their face and knowing that's what we're doing when we're in an attitude of gratitude. For myself, I think that's the most difficult part, is by being in that attitude of gratitude that I'm actually giving that gift to other people for them to enjoy.
It's a nice way to look at this, to see it as a present wrapped up and then opening the present. To me that just makes it more clear and kind of more understandable in a way. And then listening to each of you speak gives it so much more depth and understanding in different ways. But it's that sense of reciprocity.
Anything else anyone wants to say about these 4 quotes that we have heard and we've spoken about? Then what we'll do is we'll close with a short meditation again, and then we'll just go around and whatever you are taking with you as part of your feelings for this particular call, and what you thought went well about it, and what things need to be improved. So as we close our eyes, get comfortable, we let go of that breath that no longer serves us and bring in the new. We are so blessed to be touched in an attitude of gratitude, being reminded of being thankful for that which is in our life, knowing that we reach out and touch others, and we can be thankful as we open that present of being present in their lives, and knowing if we bring the best possible self, that is also from the attitude of gratitude. That we hold the highest and best, not only for our life and how it unfolds on the journey we're on, but holding the divine peace for all those around us, for our communities that are going through this uncertain time, the uncertain time of doubt, and we let that go. We hold divine love, knowing that it is flowing across the continent, for we are connected from California to New York. And that love flows forth. So as we sit in the silence, feel that love radiating out to all those in need. Divine Spirit, as we return to this time and this place, we bring the connection of our indwelling Spirit into our lives to guide our hands and feet, our tongue, the unfolding of our consciousness, our daily interactions. For we are blessed to be in an attitude of gratitude. And so it is. Okay. Well, why don't we take a few minutes and just go around and speak to what you liked about what we covered tonight and how what we've done will expand the way you'll go forth in your life and your day, and how it'll make it a little easier.
Well, I'll start. I really appreciated the subject tonight. Gratitude is so important, and it's something that I've been working with. And I feel that the session tonight really helped me to bring it more to the forefront so that I can see how tomorrow I can experience it and think about it and hopefully experience it more fully, so that throughout the whole day that attitude for gratitude will be there. It's there, but after this talk tonight, I can now connect with it more quickly and more easily, I think. So I thank you for that.
And I want to thank each of you, first you, Ken, for inviting me to join tonight, and Sandy, for you accepting me to be part of your Tzaddi group. I am always grateful after interactions like this with the really incredible depth and wisdom that lives within everyone. And when given a chance to express that, it is truly a gift to be received. The way that I'll carry this into my evening or tomorrow and my days ahead is to just remember that it doesn't matter what the situation is, that it's for my own growth, and that when I can be grateful, I see a greater breadth to the picture, and my perceptions can change, not always quickly. And I can even feel grateful, be compassionate with myself when I rest in a place that is not gratitude while I'm struggling to reach that feeling of gratitude, knowing that gratitude brings more of that for which I desire.
I know during this time of sheltering in place that there are so many in our communities that are out of work and they are afraid. And even in their lives, if we can focus on our attitude of gratitude and share that as a light or a beacon for other people, that there is just so much that we have in our life at this time to be thankful for. Even when it appears that the earth is tumbling around our shoulders, we can hold the things that we have as the starting point of gratitude. And once we hold that for ourselves, it's easier for other people to share in the energy that we radiate. And that's what I wish to take from this circle, the radiating energy of both Carolyn and Sandy, your thoughts, the powerful love that you have for others, and knowing that we generate the energy to help all those around us, those that are in need, those that are having trouble finding their way. It may be a smile that we offer. It may be a helping hand. But if we are centered in the attitude of gratitude, of knowing all that we have been given, it's so much easier for me to reach out, to do the right thing at the right time in spirit. And I give thanks. And so it is. So anything anybody would like to offer in closing before we do our final checkout?
Just to say thank you again to both of you, to all in the circle.
It was wonderful. It would have been nice to have more people in our circle, but we'll take the energy we have. For we are truly blessed in knowing the moment is exactly as it's meant to be. So why don't we close with our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us.
God enfolds us.
The power of God protects
us.
The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. Well, thanks, everyone, for joining us for this spiritual gathering teleconference. The call is going to be or could be archived as an MP3 at www.tzaddi.org, or phone access to the recording of this call is available until the next month's spirit gathering. For playback of the recording, dial 712-432-1085, and the access code is the same that you use to access this call. And I am so grateful that you both joined in, and thank you. And now, in closing, what is one word of what you will take with you? Certainly mine is gratitude.
Gratitude.
See?
Yeah, absolutely. Gratitude and awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, God bless you all, and thank you. Have a great evening back there on that East Coast.
Thank you.
And our prayers are with you.